It's the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super One.
Twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And he comes up with a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing. And now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose? Or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
York able to send this one through.
And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for the touchdown.
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And one thing we haven't pointed out yet, probably should, you got a dome team on the road, January, cold weather. How tough is that, or is that something that really shouldn't come into play?
Well, it shouldn't come into play, but let's face it, if you've been a dome team all year and used to controlled environment, you need to get yourself outside a little bit for practice during the week. And that's what most of these teams do, because just because they play in a dome doesn't mean they don't have bad weather outside to work in. So they can do that, get their guys acclimated, and then that way, it takes it all away when you get the game day in a foreign place.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 3. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll drop to throw. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. They run the counter with Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Options galore here, second and a few inches.
On play action, they'll throw.
He's got this into the hands of Barkley coming across the field.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Running left, Taylor.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Dublin with the football here to begin the second quarter. Second and goal from the 1.
Taylor is in for a touchdown.
Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big.
So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one complete to Smith. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Again, they'll drop to throw.
That's caught left side by the tight end Jordan. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Richie James, 42 yards. And the Vikings are back within a score. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Dublin's offense now set to take over. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Shamrocks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Quick slant here to Smith. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Complete. Smith has it.
And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw right side, taken in by Wallace.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw again.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw again.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Touchdown! Tylan Wallace from 17 yards out. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that cuts the lead to 24-17.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
He's going to try and go deep again. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Shamrocks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. They'll try and throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. But not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Second and 4. Over the middle to Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he can have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt him later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. this might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there as time expires in the first half. And the Shamrocks continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. They'll throw now on the final play. And it's going to be caught. Not sure why they went for two, but they do get it. So we come upon halftime here in this.
A look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter.
And they have made this look easy. There's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantages and all it's cracked up to bit. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easy.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Shamrocks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson.
59 yards.
And the Vikings get a bit closer. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead down now to 22.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They'll try and throw for it here.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with second and a couple. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Holding offense.
That's Jawan Taylor, the right tackle.
Still second down.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Cook following the penalty. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Cade York on now for the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. York able to send this one through.
And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Dublin's offense now set to take over.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown.
Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in a wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. One quarter remains in this NFC Wild. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. 1st and 10, Taylor now. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They run once more with Taylor. Room here to run. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Shamrocks start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Looking to throw. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. That'll be caught. Wallace hauls it in. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown! Herb Smith Jr., a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Dublin's offense now set to take over. Can't officially call this a win for them yet, but it's looking good to move on to the divisional round. They'll be on the road, of course, as an underdog. But the age-old question, would you rather have the momentum they're going to have or sitting at home with a bye? I'm sure you'd probably rather have the bye.
You remember that conference call we had before the playoffs started? We were talking with some people in the industry and some of the coaches that are out there. And we kind of posed the same question. You know, if you're coming off of a game like this, you know, and you're taking on a team that had that open week, which way do you want to go? And you remember the answer they gave us? I want the better team. Okay, I get it. I get it. But I think there's a lot to having that momentum of having played versus coming off of that.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they will try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing right, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Back to throw here. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. Richie James with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings are able to at least get one score back.
And now it's blocked.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet, and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
Dublin's offense now set to take over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Flushed out right. James has got it. Complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's James. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop him with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll look to throw again. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
The York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Dublin's offense now set to take over. And you'd have to say they have done what they set out to do in this wild card round. It won't get easier from here, of course, but they'll certainly have some momentum built up for when they hit the road in the divisional round next weekend.
He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go up top again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to take another shot here. He's got him in, complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it